Okay. Listen, the speaking trade is commonly called the graveyard shift. I'm the Grim Reaper. And so the message I'm going to give to you is that there are some vulnerabilities in something you rely on. That's your pocket, it's your payment device. So I'm going to talk about cybersecurity and digital financial services, as no doubt. So I know I've got a bit of an intro, but I just wanted to explain what I do and why I do it. So as I said before, I'm head of the Digital Financial Services Observatory at Columbia Business School in New York City. It's financed by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I've also been the head of the ITU, International Telecommunications Union, Technology Innovation Working Group, and I actually had somebody come up to me now to thank me for some of the work that we've done. It was a 2.5-year process, and we did some really good work. Some of the reports are available online, so I encourage you to see that. Now, the successor to the ITU Focus Group is the FIGIE Initiative, Financial Inclusion Global Initiative. There I had the block trade security and DFS infrastructure security working groups. So that's BIS, ITU, World Bank, Gates Foundation. And the reason I say that is because we're always looking for people to assist in the work group. So you can inbox me or send me a DM on Twitter, and I'm happy to incorporate you in the FIGIE initiative. Okay. And that is the observatory at Columbia. It's a policy and regulatory institute. www.dfsobservatory.com. A lot of free resources there for you. Go look at anything to do with DFS. And we are planning on a big cybersecurity push, so look out for that as well. So that's the DFS ecosystem, sometimes called mobile money, sometimes called mobile payments, but now the globular term where it incorporates the entire financial ecosystem and not just mobile money and money on mobile payments or mobile banking. It's now DFS. But the important part of this picture, this DFS ecosystem picture, is the fact that in the middle you have a phone. So the entire DFS ecosystem to some degree is mobile centric. And that becomes important in terms of cybersecurity. So also because most of the phones in this world, believe it or not, we're all doing a little survey around the room, most people have smartphones, but still 60% of the world accessing these services is using a feature phone or even a basic phone. So a basic phone is literally got GPRS or something on it, and that's about it, no Bluetooth. Feature phones, majority. We are moving towards smartphones, but feature phones are going to be here with us for a while. I know the trade in India says that they're looking at feature phones being the majority in India way past 2020. Again, that's an important clue as to what we're going to talk about in the next couple of slides. So this is where we are in terms of penetration. Globally, 276 implementations of DFS worldwide. South Asia, 40. It's grown quite exponentially. You can see that we've gone from, 160 million users to 235 million users in South Asia in 1 year. So growing exponentially. So with the new ecosystem, we're all learning. And unfortunately, there are new risks and there's new opportunities for bad actors to take advantage of it. So let me demonstrate to you in the next few slides how they're doing that and if they can do it and what we can do to mitigate things. So I don't want to leave this topic. All I want to do is ventilate the issues so we see what they are and how we can deal with it. So these are the threats and intrusions. So this isn't just me talking. This is global knowledge. Although it's more the vulnerabilities are more prevalent in the feature phone world. It is prevalent globally simply because we're using a system called Signaling System 7. So these are the nature of the attacks. We've gone from 2001, if you can remember that far back, from nuisance, sorry, virus, all the way to disruptive, and even we're heading towards destructive behavior. Some people are just doing it to knock out systems for the hell of it, sometimes for ransomware, but they're really getting destructive. And what we're seeing now are industrial scale cyber gangs and state actors getting involved. So it's becoming serious business way beyond the nuisance factor of 2001 and then fraud. So really nefarious actors at play. So let's look at the vulnerabilities in DFS at 3 risk levels. One's in telecommunications or mobile network operator level. Then we've got the financial infrastructure service provider level, and then the customer level. And each of those have got the vulnerabilities, and we're going to say some mitigants. So at the MNO level, let's just, for telecommunications network, use MNO as a shorthand. The MNOs, of course, are very vulnerable. Based on the fact that they've built their DNA is this thing called SS7, Signaling System 7, and the USSD, which we know is used on feature phones. The base stations, to some degree, are also vulnerable. So why is this SS7 such a pivot in the cybersecurity vulnerability paradigm? Well, simply because in 1975, this thing was invented. It's a protocol that connects all mobile operators and fixed line networks around the world, and for roaming, for SMSs, for USSD, for billing. So essentially, when you roam, when you get off an airplane and land up in a new country, your phone switches on, and hey presto, a couple of seconds later, you've got the name of the local country that you're in. The network comes up, and that is done through your home network and the foreign network that you're now in. It's become local, handshaking with each other through SS7. Unfortunately, SS7 has no security built into it, believe it or not. Why is that? Well, in 1975, or so, believe it or not, if you think that far back, if you're even alive at that point, for most of us, mostly the companies, if you want to call them that, at the time, provided telecommunication services. They weren't really mobile services, were state-owned companies. So state-owned companies were talking to state-owned companies. And they said, well, you know, we trust them, our neighbors, we don't need security. So they didn't put security, okay? So now what we've done, unfortunately, is we built a DFS ecosystem of what is called quicksand. So SS7 is your quicksand, and we built this financial layer on top of it. So the financial layer is sitting on top of quicksand. And again, this is how it works. So you can see the networks connect to each other, but the important little bit there is I wanted to point out was something called Signal Transfer Protocol, SDP. And that is how the networks connect to each other. And that is where the vulnerabilities lie. Now, anybody in this room can get access to an SS7 network through something called Global Title. It's very easy. You pay $50 and start sending bulk messages, and you've got Global Title. Very, very easy. So this vulnerability is not a hack. I wouldn't call it a hack. Why? Simply because there's nothing to hack. It's if you left your front door open and somebody came in to steal from your home because your front door is open, have they broken in? No, you just let them in. Okay, so that's what we've got here. We're letting the bad actors in through SS7 because, again, there's no security. So here's where the quicksand component comes in, is that we've got this thing called USSD, unsupplementary service data, which is the active GSM protocol, Global System for Mobile Communications, developed in the 1980s. Excuse me. That's the user interface and also bearer for DFS. So it allows mobile handsets to communicate with the mobile operator, the DFS service provider. And you can see there on the right-hand side, it sits on top of SS7 through a protocol, GSM protocol called MAP, Mobile Application Part. So SS7 there in red is your infrastructure, and then your mobile component, or GSM component, sits on top of it, and of that, SMS and USSD are your MAP components. We've now repurposed them for a user interface for a financial transaction. Again, sitting on Quicksand. So that SS7 equals USSD in effect, which is vulnerable. So what does this all mean? Have people exploited this? Absolutely. So what can they do? Well, if you're a bad actor and you trickle into an SS7 network, you can emulate somebody. I can be you on your phone. And this is a study about ethical hackers in 14 mobile networks running DFS mobile money operations. And what they were able to do in 80-90% of the time is obtain balance data, steal subscriber data, hijack incoming SMSs, OTPs, one-time passwords. That's completely vulnerable. Like if your bank sends you a one-time password to confirm some transaction, if that's opening up a new account or a new payment beneficiary, that's completely interceptable from anywhere in the world. You can be on Mars, really, and do this. As long as you've got access to an internet connection from Mars, you can do everything like this. But the important part here I want to highlight is the stuff in red. Okay, so moving funds in mobile money. They're in 60% of cases in this study, 14 providers that were able to move balances. That's how tricky it is. Why? Because SS7 is in clear text and USSD is essentially in clear text. SMS, except if it's on encrypted SIM toolkit, is also in clear text. So any transaction that you do on SS7 is in clear text. Now, NIST in the US have said, forget it. Whatever you do, don't use SMS and USSD for transactions. But here we are. We have built an entire financial ecosystem on USSD in clear text and SMS with one-time passwords in clear text. Okay, here we are. Use WhatsApp. But I'm going to set your one-time password for WhatsApp. Been done.